couple weeks ago, Country Mama posted a comment on one of my videos about suicidal states, saying she'd recently lost her best friend to suicide and woke up every day crying. So I want to start this stream just offering up a prayer for her. To anyone who's lost somebody to suicide, recently or distantly. And for the people going through depression and suicidal states. Because it seems to really be on the rise. So I'm just going to do that silently. And I invite anyone else who wants to offer up a little prayer to her and everyone else affected. I don't know how much I have in me. The combined effects of bipolar, depression, and long-haul COVID together are pretty much crushing me down to dust. A lot of fuses blown in my brain. Knowing how many people are dealing with this. Wish I had something helpful to say. But I really don't know if I do. Hey, Joel Gloff. Was that BK? Trappa? Sorry to hear you're not doing well, Gloff. And fuck, that sucks, BK. Thank you for the love, Trappa. Much love back at you. Christina, thanks. I'm far from okay. I'm working on being okay with not being okay, more than working on being okay. Long haul's really changed my bipolar. I'm very, very familiar with what just depression and suicidal states do for zapping energy, and it's incredible how much they can deplete it. But the fatigue from long haul COVID's a different thing. It's a different kind of tired completely. The combination is brutal. And I don't think as well. It's affected my anger too. And like the bipolar rage that can come up. What used to sort of arise was like a Hulk. full of fury and rage. Bipolar or the long haul mutated it. It's like it absorbed the Red Bull, grew into some sort of Balrog. Surprised how well I'm able to contain it. It's not that it's causing me, it's not causing more damage in the external. It's not breaking, I'm not letting it break things or attack anyone. It's not, it's not getting out into the world. When it gets loose inside, it does a lot more fucking damage than the Hulk did. It's very difficult to show up tonight. Because I'm beyond. Yeah, I'm off the map as extreme of states as I've experienced over the years. I'm off the map with this. Other winter depression points would make me feel like maybe I should quit the channel. I'm not going to be able to pull myself together. But I'm worse off than that, than I was every other winter. And the fact that this long haul is uncharted territory means I can't even tell myself that there's a good chance I'll be doing better in the spring. KBK said, "Oh crap, man, you got COVID. I'm keeping isolated for years now." Yeah, I got COVID back in the spring. I was very sick for about a month. And then got long haul COVID. Which has had effects on my brain, obviously. Like for some people, they get long haul COVID for them is exhaustion and fatigue. I got that element. But other people have also had it affect their memory, their thinking, and whatnot. It's done that to me as well. It's mutated my entire bipolar cycle. And pushed me beyond what I seem to be able to handle. It's just breaking me down. I haven't seen any research about the interplay between bipolar and long haul COVID. I can't say any more on that in the moment. My brain just froze up. Okay, Christina said, sending love and strength. I wish there was something to say to magically help us all. Yeah, I wish that too. The only reason I do this channel is to try to help people. There's been a lot of internal forces wanting me to quit lately. If this was an ambition or a hobby or anything like that, I would have. And I may quit eventually if this is permanent, and I don't think I'm in a state to be able to help anyone. And I don't know if I'm going to get back to that again. It's funny, even the parts of me that really desperately want out of this world, parts of me that are certain life is not worth living. The suffering outweighs the pain, or suffering outweighs any joys. Yeah, see, all it sees is suffering and pain. But even that part wants to help. I'm not still here because I am experiencing that life is worth living. I haven't been in a state where hope seems reasonable. But I'm stuck to a commitment I've made to ride this out. And so even that part of me that sees that it's a game not worth playing can accept that if we have to be here and if we're ever able to lessen the suffering for someone else, we should. Okay, Trappa says, I've struggled for years, man. It really does get better. So have I. I've gone through years of depression and had feelings similar. This time it's different, but I've had feelings similar, like it'll never get better, blah, blah, blah. And I push myself through it, and it always improves. But I've never had the combination of COVID before. Since having COVID, it hasn't improved, except that brief period where I had a romantic relationship going well. There are some curses for which love really is a surprising cure. Then border issues ended that. I can't expect spring to get better anymore because it didn't last year. I'm in uncharted territory for myself. Well, I can't say it's impossible that things won't get better or will get, yeah, fuck, whatever. See, I can't think well. The odds of it not getting better are rationally more likely. As for the rest, talk to God and rely upon Him. He believes in you. Heaven turned out all the lights, and God is pretending not to be home. Yeah, that's why I called this a dark night without stars. It's both true, it's cloudy. But heaven's not showing itself to me right now. Perhaps this is some test. I don't know how much talking I can do. But yes, I do breathing exercises. Yeah, Christina, that's something that's worked really well for me in the past. I'm working on being okay with not being okay too, or increasing my window of tolerance for my depression. I used to be quite skilled at that. It's very, very, very immensely more difficult now. There's two parts of me that hate me quite intensely. One part hates me for not being able to do that the way I used to be able to, for not being able to do better. One part hates me for being so broken down and sees how if I were better, the lives of other people would be better. And it hates me for being so weak and stupid. The other part hates me for being too strong and clever. Hates me for surviving the most intense period of suicidality a couple months ago. Yeah, hates me for being strong enough to get through that. Just says, what the fuck? If that's not enough for you to let us end this, what will be? And I'm working on being okay with that. Um, that's great advice for some people, John. That isn't an option for me at the moment, jujitsu. I cannot describe the level of exhaustion I have. Um, yeah, but for other people, that might be exactly what they would need. Accident. Okay. PK says, I just accidentally hurt myself and I just can't tell if it's really an accident or if it's the MDD and PTSD. Talk that through with someone if you can and find out. Like, good on you for wondering that. Okay, Shane asked, what's long haul COVID? Some people who get COVID have after effects. That may be permanent or last for a various amount of time. It can involve emotional changes in cognitive ability, like a lowering of IQ, memory loss, extreme exhaustion and fatigue. Oh, BK answered that anyway. Sorry, I'm skipping so much. Just okay. Joel asks, are certain times of the day better than others? Night is better. 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. It's the best time of day for me. Gloff says, been struggling with an addiction since I was 11 or so. I've tried for years to eradicate it to no avail. Not sure I can say what it is with new YouTube filters, but it involves the internet. Oh, okay. I think I know what you're talking about then. You say this is the only YouTube channel I feel like I can be vulnerable. Bucksy, and I know somewhere inside me there's something to say to that, or the former me would have something to say to that. All I can say at the moment is I wish you the best with that. And if I can ever put my head back together, man, we can talk about it privately sometime. BK says sharing pain lessens pain. All right, thanks for that reminder. That's one of those things that I knew somewhere that I couldn't access. But I really felt before coming on tonight that I did not know what the fuck the point of this was. But yeah, sharing pain sometimes helps others with theirs. So it's been Gloff says it's been resulting in a small crisis of faith, one that is a failure of the will, not the mind. Okay, and you're still happy I do this. I can even kind of half access the vague thought of something here to say to you, Gloff, and I can't get it into words. Don't be too down on yourself about it, though. You didn't choose how much will to have in the moment. Trappa, thank you for the prayers. Christina just passed an accident that flashed me back to my old accident. I'm working on my breathing now. I remember for a while after being hit by the bus, getting flashbacks of it. If I was in a vehicle that was passing a bus or a truck coming the other way. That's rough. How is the exhaustion different than MDD, depression feeling? What's MDD? I'm not sure fully how to explain the difference between the exhaustion associated with long haul COVID because I experienced it all through the spring mixed with when manic energies were trying to come in. Although another effect of the long haul is it tries to put any positive energy into anger. Makes it very difficult. It was impossible for a while to feel joy, even on a beautiful day with a wild animal sitting on my shoulder hanging out. Fuck, what was I going to say? Oh, right. More physical and more like for instance, every other severe depression I've had when I get, so maybe, yeah, just kind of to describe the physical activity difference instead of trying to describe the internal. Used to be that at my worst in depression, I would sleep longer. I'd sleep 9, 10, 11 hours sometimes. And then I'm up and I'm exhausted and I have no energy. But I get up and sit up all day. It's this exhaustion of I get up, sit down, and just kind of sit there all day. Even in the spring, the exhaustion with the long haul exhaustion, it's like I get up, drag my ass out to get wood and put it in the stove, and then I just collapse on the couch. I have to spend, and I can't sleep as long. I'll sleep for like 8 hours and wake up exhausted. And then I spend half the day needing to lay down, listening to a podcast or meditating, often half awake or falling in and out of falling asleep. And it's like, yeah, I just have to spend so much of the day lying down. And then once the sun sets, I can drag myself up into a sitting position and sit up for a few hours. It was never like that in the past 16 years, where I had to get up and lie down. I could get up and sit all day, however long I was awake. It puts a certain tiredness in the head that makes it hard to think. It's a different kind of tiredness. The combination of the two is brutal. Chat is frozen up. Oh, glad to have you here. How do you pronounce it? Is the name here? Anyway, I don't know. If I'm ever doing any better, Gloff, I'd like to talk you through that shit one-on-one. No trap. I don't have creative outlets, music or visual art. I can't explain how exhausted I am. I'm at a stage where if I was advising someone else, I was aware of what they were going through. Like, yeah, all that get off the couch and go out and, push yourself a bit with this and that. There's a level of depression that needs to be slept off. What I need right now is as much rest as possible. And I'm working on that because even lying down can be torment if the horrible shit gets loose and starts tearing at me inside. And I've got something to deal with that I don't have the energy to deal with properly. I'm barely dealing with it at all. Yeah, I just have nothing in me right now. And not that I'm doing nothing, I'm doing some small things. There's not the mental health resources available there used to be. I don't see a path forward from here. So I'm trying to rest as much as possible and do as much as I can, but it's very limited what I can do. Yeah, I know what that's like. Gloff saying I don't feel emotions like I used to. I don't love music like I used to. I'm essentially the high school jerk I used to be. Yeah, the state that I'm in for months now. Nothing worldly brings me any pleasure, interests, hobbies. I can get a couple things that I can get a dim amount of positive emotion from. And my internal resources, yeah, at the moment, there's no help inside me either. And then on the spiritual side, all the stars are out. There's nothing to aim at. The angels are silent. Maybe this is the beginning of the end. Or maybe this is some sort of test. I have no idea. but I'm fighting as hard as I can to keep going. Because I don't want to make things worse on anyone else. Because I committed to it. Thank you for Ryan. I think you can be reborn. I'm not feeling like that's possible. But I know that I can't trust my feelings in this state. So I'll try to remember that you said that. Okay, yeah, after that happening, BK, I could imagine you'd be gun shy of everything. Sorry you had to go through that. Hopefully, somehow in the long run, it makes it stronger. That's a profound comment, Gloff. I just want my sincerity back. To laugh was to laugh, rarely but heartily, from the soul. Now I laugh to mask. I'll pray for you, brother. Silver linings make great silver bullets. Thank you very much for the donation, BK. I appreciate that. Thanks, Gloff. I appreciate you too, man. Yeah, I really wish I was doing better so I could talk you through some of your shit. Sorry I'm skipping so many comments. My brain just can only handle so much. So I'm just answering the ones where a response comes easily to mind. Gloff said, dude, your presence is healing enough, to be honest. I kind of scare myself with some thoughts I have sometimes. Fuck. You should see the thoughts I have, man. I find it surprising that in this state, I can understand how in other states I'm in, people can find my presence healing. I don't understand at the moment how when I'm like this, you could find my presence healing. But if it is for you, then that was reason enough to come on tonight. As you say that, yeah, some other people have told me that. That even when I just show up and have nothing to say, no matter what state I'm in, it's hard to hold on to that. Fucked up thing with this combination of depression and long haul. Makes it really hard for me to remember positive things. I fucking scare myself so much now. I'm traumatized by the intensity of prolonged, just maximal, extreme suicidal state that I went through for a while there. It's too fucking painful. And when the Balrog gets loose, it fucking hurts. I'm becoming just terrified of myself. Of those states arising, the amount of pain parts of me inside can inflict on the rest. Well, thanks for showing up and venting a bit, BK. Yeah, right. That's another thing that happens when I do these streams is people feel free to talk about and vent some of the shit they're going through, and that helps. Helps to be able to tell people. So everyone who wants to vent and bitch and moan as much as you want in the chat. How far behind am I in chat? Oh, pretty far. I'm going to try to skim down. F. Gilbert said, "Hey, gorgeous, hang in there." That is the first time I've heard that. Respect my commitment a lot. Well, thanks. Fuck, that's got to be rough to deal with, BK. I feel for you. Hey, Interbeing Alchemist. Good to see that you're here. So you say, I was in a sweat lodge yesterday in the UK, and I actually mentioned you in our Dharma sharing and talked about how you can vicariously adopt strength, and you have been that for me, my friend. Fuck, I'm glad. I really lately have been bewildered as to how I've ever helped anybody. That means a lot to me. And thanks, Jessica, for offering advice. I appreciate seeing you trying to help each other in the chat. Yeah, I don't know what you mean about having those cliffs you have to worry about falling off in your mind, BK. Okay, Interbeing Alchemist says it's because when you feel in the depth of despair, I can't do anything. You managed to get on here, and so that's enough to send a powerful message to anyone who can relate to those feelings. All right, again, thanks for showing me some way that this helps. If I can help a few people, I'll stick with this as long as I can. Sorry to hear that, Jessica. Unrequited love is difficult. Well, do you enjoy being wet and smelling like an orange, Interbeing Alchemist? It's not the event in itself that makes it good or bad, it's how you feel about it. Sometimes the company that we get, even in misery, is still company when you're alone. Yeah. Interbeing says, you mean a lot to us, bro. Think about anyone who makes you feel more like the person you want to be, and recognize that's what you do for others. Really. I have difficulty understanding why in the state I'm in. But I do really want to help. So even if it's helping in ways that I'm not able to make sense of, I'll take it. Jessica says, I appreciate you sharing so authentically. All right, good. So Jessica says, I have no idea what brought me into this chat room, but I feel like you're on the exact same vibration I've been on for quite a while. Well, maybe it was the matching vibration that brought you here, Jessica. Welcome. If you're finding it helpful, I'm really glad to have you here. And I didn't put it in the description for this video. We do have a Discord. Since I've really broken down, I've stopped putting it in the description. But if you go back to an older video, there's a link to our Discord in every description past the last few. It's not that active when I'm not that active, but there is some activity there. And even when I'm not around, that is a place where, it's built around this kind of interaction. And it's too bad there's not more interaction there, because there's a lot of people in that group who could help each other. Maybe when I'm done, I'll add it to the description of this video. Here to friends we just didn't know before. Raul says, is one-sided love worth it? Don't we all deserve some love? Yeah, I think we all do. My last experience, it sucks to see how big a difference that can make. Unrequited love is difficult, I'm sure. Requited love that ends with a problem at the border and just gets taken away due to outside circumstances, rough. I'm largely past that. Specific instance. But I'm bothered by knowing what a difference it could make. Part of me feels like it sucks to realize just how much a good relationship changes everything. Bluff says, I'm getting pretty tired. I needed this Merc. Thanks. Oh, you're very welcome. I'm glad it helped you. It really wasn't easy to get myself to come on tonight. Glad it made a difference to somebody. Good night. I hope you sleep well tonight. Oh, and Shane, sorry I've been skipping so many of your comments, but like a lot of them have been to other people or have been things that just I couldn't put together words to respond to. But it reminded me, you compared me to a character in a comment. I think it was, did you say the movie was called Silence? I meant to look it up after and watch the movie because I'd never seen the movie. Just all of a sudden that occurred to me. I had seen that comment where you compared me to some character in a movie. I think it was called Silence, but I'm not sure. Not sure why that just came to mind. I'm going to try to watch whatever it was sometime. Or can you repeat? Do you remember? Can you repeat it so I don't have to go trying to find where that comment was? Oh, Country Mama showed up late. Check out the beginning of the stream. I started this by mentioning you. Okay, yeah, and I'm more caught up in the comments. I started this out with a little prayer for you and for everyone else who's lost someone to suicide, as well as everyone who's dealing with depression or suicidal states, because it's an increasing problem. And you're not the only community member who's let me know they've lost somebody to suicide. Just the others were in private messages. Since you posted yours as a public comment, I took that as, that you were stating it publicly. So I did start by saying you'd lost somebody to it and was using you as the stand-in for the other people that I know have lost people to suicide, because I didn't want to refer to them specifically. Also, in general, sorry that I have not responded to the vast majority of messages. I did better on responding to comments. I answered for a while, I answered no messages at all for some period. I'm sorry about that, everyone who wrote to me. I got back to just a couple people more recently. But yeah, I'm sorry about that. Thanks for the love. I love you too, Country Mama. And I really appreciate the support. Hey, Dust. Better late than never. You're always welcome here. How are you dealing with it, Country Mama? Are you feeling any better about it, or is every day still as hard as it was before? BK had wrote, one-sided will suck your soul dry, like referring to love. He or she, I don't know, or they or zer. So anyway, love. One-sided will suck your soul dry if you love the wrong one. It'll break you giving everything and nothing coming back, like shining the light into the void, waiting to see something reflected back. The heart as big as the sun, for nothing in the end, but all the things you never wanted. I'm going to counter that with my favorite poem on love. Hold on, let me see if I've got it over here. I'd read it once before with a bunch of other David Whyte poems. Let me see if... It's coming up very, very, very slowly. This computer's getting glitchier. I don't know how much longer till it craps out. I'm not sure if this is going to open at all. Country Mama said, each day is different. I'm trying not to use it as a crutch, excuse to be a lazy, unmotivated, shitty, angry person, but I fail a lot. Well, good on you for at least trying, resisting that. Some people will just jump right into that and embrace it. Again, like I'd said to Gloff, if I were doing better, I'd love to offer to talk to you and help you through it. The old me used to be good at shit like that. I've really been broken down to nothing lately. Miraculously, it comes back anytime soon. I'll let people know that I'm up for doing private sessions again. This is the kind of love that fucking fixes things and lifts curses. This is called second sight. Sometimes you need the ocean light in colors you've never seen before, painted through an evening sky. Sometimes you need your God to be a simple invitation, not a telling word of wisdom. Sometimes you need only the first shyness that comes from being shown things far beyond your understanding, so that you can fly and become free. And being still, and by being still here. And then there are times when you want to be brought to ground by touch, and touch alone. To know those arms around you, and to make your home in the world just by being wanted. To see eyes looking back at you as eyes should see you at last. Seeing you as you had always wanted to be seen. Seeing you as you yourself had always wanted to see the world. If you can find something like that, hold on to it. BK says, nice. Poetry is calming somehow. I've taken to that and saying a lot. To quiet my thoughts in just a sentence. It has helped a lot. I forget where Nolan posted his shit. One of our community members and someone who used to work on the channel when it was more of an organization than what it's devolved into. But anyway, Nolan Watson has some excellent poetry that I think you would like, given what you've said about yourself. If you join our Discord, which, or I don't know. Yeah, anyway, if you join our Discord, you could message Nolan on there and ask him where he has his poetry. I think you'd like his work. Nolan's a great guy. Or maybe he says it in, he did a couple podcasts on the channel. So you can see who Nolan is if you look up. Just search Nolan either on the channel or you could message him on Discord. Country Mama says, just please stay alive for us. I just like seeing your face. Something about your spirit is so incredibly comforting to me. Okay, again, I find it so strange that it still has the effect when I'm in this state. I'm glad for that. I can understand that old idiotic fucking happy Zen version of me. I could understand how he would have that effect on people. I'm confused as to how I do when I'm like this. But fuck yeah, I'm committed to staying alive. I'm going to ride this shit out. And sometimes I fucking hate myself for making that commitment. Reminds me of the Cosmic Trilogy by C.S. Lewis. In The Silent Planet, or The Silent Planet. Ransom's got to go up this incline where the air keeps getting thinner and it keeps getting colder. Before setting out, he knows he's going to want to give up. He knows the different states he's going to experience as he tries to go up this path carved in a mountain that's going to take him like beyond the atmosphere, almost beyond the atmosphere. And he knows that he's going to want to turn back. So he just sets the commitment ahead of time. No matter what I feel or think, no matter, I'm committed, I will just go through. That's what I've done. Because there are times when the shit that's operating in my head makes a perfectly airtight case for why I should end it. And is able to twist everything around so that even my worry about the people it would hurt, it's nope, you're going to fuck things up more in the long run, do more damage, and then probably just kill yourself anyway eventually. You actually cause the least suffering by just doing it now. But I've made that commitment. And I do sometimes wonder if I'm going to be able to keep it up. But I have so far. So I'm just stuck to that commitment. So I'll stick around. And hopefully that gives some encouragement to other people who are in the same state. I really wish I could do more to help. It's hard to live with how fucking desperately I have to fight just to maintain this pathetic state. Uh, I don't know what you're saying about that stimulus package, Jessica. I'm in Canada, not the States. Oh, but anyway, funding for a new computer. Actually, the channel raised enough money to buy me a new computer. I just haven't been able to. I have difficulty with technology. Being on YouTube is really fucking odd for me because I am not good with computers. I have difficulty adjusting. And in the state I'm in, I have not been able to handle um, ordering a new computer and figuring out how to use it. So there is funds. Somebody made a very generous donation that got us up to the point where a new computer can be purchased. I just haven't been able to face the task of doing that. Jessica, what do you feel is the thing that is breaking you down the most? I don't feel able to say that publicly. There's a certain life situation. Um, and it's not, I'm not talking about that breakup, that was public. Yeah, no, there's something going on in my life that I don't feel free to talk about publicly because it like involves other people in my life who are not public people. Um, the only reason I discussed Ani and our breakup at all was because she wanted to be a public person. Like she had her own tarot YouTube channel and she wanted our relationship discussed publicly. I try not to talk about other situations. So there is a situation that's breaking me down very badly at the moment. Well, obviously, the biggest thing is my fucking bipolar and the long haul COVID combination. But there is something that's very, very difficult for me to deal with. I just can't talk about it here. Can I put an invite to the Discord? With the way my computer's running, if I try, I don't think it'll work. I'll put an invite to the Discord in the description of the video as soon as this ends. And holy fuck, we went over an hour and 15 minutes. Glad I decided to take my sleeping pills before doing this. It's funny. Past 2 months, the one time I am the least tired is when I take my sleeping pills, like my prescription ones, they're benzos, like a few hours before going to bed. They still help me sleep better, but the least tired I ever am now is when I take my sleeping pills because it depresses. Somehow it depresses the exhaustion, numbs some shit out. It actually enabled me to ramble for over an hour. But anyway, unless I forget, I will put a invite to the Discord in the description when we end this. I know absolutely nothing about Bitcoin, Michael. What did Wolverine question mark mean? Okay, Zach asked a question. So, is it your mind or your circumstances that are the problem? Sorry, I'm late. It's always the combination for everyone. In fact, there's no such thing as a situation or a circumstance without a nature. Every problem is an interplay between circumstance and our internal nature. For instance, take a kitten from like a cage of its own and put it in a cage with a dog, and you've put it into a dangerous circumstance. Take a tiger from its own cage and put it in a cage with a dog, you've just provided it with a meal. So there is no situation without the interplay of internal and external. My major problem is that I'm severely fucking crazy. I'm bipolar, which I've learned to handle better and better and better over the past decade. But then some life situation shit started breaking me down. Then I got COVID, and long haul COVID really fucking fucked with my bipolar, mutated it. So I've got a couple life like circumstantial things that if they were to change, like things outside myself, things would get much easier on me now, and my internal state would be easier to deal with. But even if everything were perfect, I've got fucking, yeah, the combination of long haul and my bipolar is something that I'm going to have difficulty, or so far I'm having difficulty adjusting to. Dust says, I've always told myself God would take me if he wanted me to go. Yeah, I've got the fucking deal with God that I go when he says so. So I trust the Grim Reaper will come for me, that I'm not cursed to live forever. And I feel like, as opposed to being afraid of death, death is something I feel I need to earn. I look forward to graduating and feel like it's a cheat to take myself out early. Oh, hey, Ann, nice to see you here. Hope things are going well for you. Say, just being you helps, dear Mercury, just being you. Thank you. A bunch of people have fucking told me that. And it's hard to remember. Just being honest, me brings encouragement. All right, good. Then I'm glad I'm sticking with it. And Zach says, why is your state pathetic? Okay, so I referred. Yeah, and I know that's something where I wouldn't call it pathetic in someone else. I'm not treating myself the same way there that I would treat someone else. But honestly, there is a part of me that experiences it as pathetic. So that was a part of me speaking, not the gestalt. Oh, Country Mama, you're in Calgary. I didn't know you were in Canada. Jessica asks, what's your favorite thing about yourself? That I've managed the agapic love, try to help people, and am honest to the best of my ability. I guess that's more than one, but in a way, I kind of see that all as one thing. Like if you combine those into one thing, but yeah. And BK asks, Merc, you're out east, right? I'm in Quebec. I'm not far from Ottawa. I'm in Quebec, but I'm near the Ontario border, not far from Ottawa. So I forget, do I know where you are? I don't know if I'm east of you. But I'm not out in the Maritimes. And I'm on the western edge of Quebec, out in the country. Wait, what are you donating time to assist with? The effort of talking this long, yeah, my brain does not fucking work the way it used to. Oh, I'm starting to find it hard to make sense of the comments. And you said, I'm sorry to ask such a personal question. I don't remember what question you mean. Hold on, give me a second. And I know in lots of old videos, there's me shorting out like that for different reasons. Often in the summer, there's a manic end, kind of a short out of thoughts and a need to reset. That was one of the ones that was different. That was a effect of long haul mutation on my brain. I get these weird fucking seize ups in a very fucking different way that just jumbles information. So Dust says benzos are slightly antidepressant. Yeah, for sure. So the good feelings may give you the desire to stay up. I take them ahead of time so I can enjoy that, and I still will go to bed when when I want to shift it down. I just add a little bit of melatonin, and it shifts over. But yeah, the lifting of the depression, it's yeah, I have more energy once even though it's weird, like the sleeping pill both gives me more energy when I choose to stay up. But then at any point, I can take my bit of melatonin and it makes me sleep so much better than if it's just melatonin. And it did not have this effect on me before. This is only since, this is another like mutation since COVID. Before, when I took my sleeping pills, and even back then, I would take them ahead of time because I enjoyed it. It would slow my brain down. It would remove my energy. And I'd get like I'd love to sit and fucking watch a movie on like the sleeping pills back then because like it slowed down my mind. I could take the movie in a bit more. It kind of slowed everything down, mellowed me down. But since having the long haul, and like which is accompanied by this weird additional exhaustion aside from the depression, now when I take the sleeping pills, my energy goes up. I feel less mellow. But then they still help me sleep. So yeah, it's changed the way that affects me. Yeah, Zach, it's it reduces it definitely, that reduces my mind's harming itself. And yes, you can join the Discord, Jessica. I'll put the link. Unless Dust, can you put the link in the chat right now for anyone who wants to join the Discord? And then I'll also put it in the description after. I seem to have gotten behind again on messages. Oh, and BK said that he pasted the link here. If you're not a moderator, you can't post a link. It edits it out automatically. Bukowski's awesome. Yeah, okay. You saw Country Mama that it's all one thing. Okay, I'm going to read this one from Jessica. I speak a blessing over you and a blessing over your circumstances, sending you love and light from Kentucky. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Jessica. I pray it all returns to you threefold. Okay, good night if you're checking out. And yeah, I think I'm going to check out soon too. I just want to skim through the rest of the comments quickly before I disappear. Oh, hey, programs. You say you'd like to second the others who've said they're inspired by you. When I see you continue to struggle through and stay true to your commitment to go on living, it's deeply inspiring. Fuck yeah, even with the sleeping pills, I'm having trouble processing that. Which was always true with depression, but it's like it's more so with the way COVID mutated it. Good night, Shane. Lots of love, brother. I want to respond to more, but I don't think I have the mental energy. Okay. Programs wrote, your commitment reaches well beyond anything that I feel capable of. Your ability to continue is a reflection of everything I think limits me. At least that's how it feels. Wow. Strange how differently we see me at the moment. I'm glad it's having that effect on you, brother. Oh, and Marvin was going to reach out to you to ask you some advice on what computer to get. Okay, and Dust put the Discord in for everyone. Thanks, Dust. I think it's honorable and brave to share publicly like this. Fuck yeah, I guess that's just the fucked up way my mind is working. I have a lot of voices in my head telling me the opposite, telling me that it's pathetic, shameful, and embarrassing. Yeah, it does help programs for me to understand a bit. But like, to be honest with you, that will be hard for me to hold in my head. It's amazing how quickly I find, especially if it's online, somebody I know in person is giving me that feedback, which I don't have at the moment. Anyone giving me that kind of feedback in person. If I can get that kind of feedback from someone in the 3D world that is around, it has a more powerful effect. When I'm, and again, it's just another thing that is worse now than before COVID. During depression, that kind of positive feedback from people at this distance doesn't stick long. It falls out of my head so fucking easily. It sticks a bit more when it's someone like you, Programs, because we've talked face to face. I know you. You're a bit more real, for instance, than Jessica, or someone else that I haven't spoken to. It sticks around a bit longer when it comes from someone like you. But there are comments from strangers that will have a strong effect on me for about 5 minutes. Then it'll have a lingering effect for maybe an hour. And then it seems to fucking just disappear. And even if I go back to read it again later, it won't have the effect it had the first time. It'll make me feel a bit better for a minute, but it loses the effect. I've been very mindfully observing that, how quickly digital stuff, but they can make really, really strong impacts briefly. 5, maybe even sometimes 10 or 15 minutes. Like, it'll really sink in, and then it just fucking disappears the way dreams fade away. Oh, the offer was with Computer Trouble. Yeah, I don't know. At the moment, yeah, Marvin said he'd reach out to you, Programs, about figuring out what to get with the money in the channel account. At the moment, I can't think about trying to improve the computer situation beyond that at the moment. But if you shoot me a message on Discord to remind me that, like, if you're capable of assisting with computery type advice, you could shoot me a message. And if I'm ever trying to figure something out, maybe I'll reach out. Okay, and BK says, I'm going over to slip over to the Discord if anyone wants to keep to chat. People used to do that every now and then. So yeah, why don't we wrap this up? And I'm not going to head over to the Discord. I need to fucking rest the burning wires in my head from the effort of doing this. But it would be great if a few of you met up over there and kept the support and love and shit going. Okay, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to end this now. I will add, as soon as this is done, the link to the Discord in the description. And it seems like a couple people are heading over there to continue the discussion. So anyone who wants to join them, I hope you guys have a great fucking time together. Anyone dealing with depression or suicide, keep sticking it out. I'm going to keep showing up to let you know that I'm still here until I'm through this. It may still only be every full moon, or maybe I'll try to come on more often. I don't fucking know what's going to happen. Yeah, who fucking knows? We'll see what happens. God bless. Lunatic love to all.